Hey guys, welcome back to Happy Days Education. This is lesson 1. Lesson 1 is all about landscape and portrait. So, what does landscape and portrait mean? Now, this is another one of those words they've got two meanings. So landscape could mean looking out over the mountains or looking out over the riverside. It could be looking out over a field. That could be classed as landscape. And portrait could be used as a portrait of a person. So you see a picture of a person and that's normally called a portrait. We've got the portrait truck. In this lesson, we're not talking about those meanings of the word. What we're talking about is we're talking about the shape of the photograph. So I'll show you here quickly on the phone. So we can either have, the picture can be landscape, so it's long ways, or it can be portrait. And the same on the camera. If we're holding the camera this way, the camera will be classed as being landscape. And if we turn it sideways, so we hold it up the other way, it's portrait. You can see that the box is longer than it is wide. So, why do we need to know the difference between landscape and portrait? It's really important when we're taking our pictures that we're looking at what fills the space in the best way. Now, everything that we're going to talk about through Happy Days Education is what people say are the rules for photography. Now, as photographers ourselves with 15 years experience, the rules don't always have to be followed. Okay, these are not like rules that your teacher sets. They're not like rules that you have to follow at home. A beautiful thing about taking photographs and the beautiful thing about photography is that it is an art. It is subjective. It's entirely up to you how you do the pictures, how you take the pictures. But what we're just going to teach you is a little bit of the basics behind the scenes and stuff that really will help you. If you get stuck and you're not sure what to do, then you can have a little think about it. So, landscape and portrait. When is the best time for us to use landscape versus portrait? We're going to show you a quick picture of our portrait truck. There's going to be two pictures. You'll see that one of these is landscape, one of them is portrait. Now they look quite different, don't they? You'll see that what happens is the truck doesn't fill up the space in the portrait picture as well as it does in the landscape picture. Can you see how we can fill the frame? What we refer to as filling the frame is when you look at the photograph, is your main subject, is your main point of focus, does it fill the frame up? And you'll see that on the portrait truck, for example, on that one it does. On the portrait shape, it doesn't fill it up quite as well. So, when would we want to use both things? Now, this is something for you to have a little think about, and I'll get to our challenge for this week in just a moment. But something really good to think about is when would be best to use landscape and when would be best to use portrait. So, maybe have a chat with your parents, have a chat with your brother or sister or your friends, and try and have a little think about when you think would be the best time to use that. And maybe have a think about things that are long and wide or things that are tall and far away. So that's often going to be your guide to being how you can do that. So have a little think about that and then come back, and we'll come back in just a second and carry on in a moment.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fantastic, well done. Hopefully you've had a good think and you've come up with some ideas and suggestions for things that are around the house or in your garden that you can use as either landscape or portrait pictures. So this week's challenge is we'd love for you to take some pictures, love for you to get involved. So what we need you to do is get permission from your grown-ups, either use a mobile phone, a tablet, it doesn't matter what device you're using. You may have a camera at home or somebody may have a camera at home that you're allowed to borrow. Please make sure you get permission first. These things can be expensive. We don't want to get broken, okay? Our challenge this week is we want you to take 3 pictures in landscape and we want you to take 3 pictures in portrait. Please make sure you have a little think about what you're going to do. You can use outside in the garden, you can on your walk, on your daily walk, you can use that. Or you can just use things around the house. Remember, there's no real rules. If you are looking to submit them to enter our competition, we have got some prizes that we're going to be giving away for the best ones. These will be announced next week. We've got another session next week. So what we need you to do is we need you to email them or ask a grown-up to email them to competition@happydaysphoto.co.uk. Make sure you put your name and your age on it and hopefully we'll be able to get you a shout out next week and we'll be able to share your pictures. So thanks a lot for joining us. Be safe, be careful, and have a great week. We can't wait to see your pictures. Happy days. See ya. Bye-bye.